Hello, Carol Taylor-Kearney here at Powell Arts, and I am with the lovely Michele Collins and her artwork, and she is going to introduce us to this piece. Michele.
Okay, this is, I like to paint fairy tales because I think that they have a lot of meaning to people. There's a lot in the stories. They've been around for thousands and thousands of years, and there's different morals and things that we can learn from them. So this one here is, Kiss a Frog, and I'm gonna just take this off the wall for a second and write. And I did put this on sideways, but I would correct it. It's The Frog and the Princess is the fairy tale from this, and it's Kiss a Frog. And I don't have my glasses on. Hold on one second. My eyes are getting worse and worse.
Same
Kiss a frog with your eyes open. If he turns into a prince, you won't miss the transformation. But if he doesn't, you won't be fooled by some wishful illusion in your head. So I thought this one is good for someone that's looking for someone that's had some bad relationships, someone that's searching. It's a good memory.
For an adolescent, for anybody who needs to learn a lesson, and for anyone who needs to protect themselves a little.
Exactly. See people for what they are instead of being caught up in what they're telling you.
Well, and that's something that I think is so great about your work that we did talk about in your other artist talk for Moments, which we'll link to in the description. But I think that's something so great about it, which is you're taking these fantastical things and these myth-like things, and then you're they have wisdom and very relevant lessons in them, which in some ways are it's a kernel of reasonability in front of this fantastical universe. And what's better than going and learning from something beautiful about something that you can apply directly to your life.
And that's, I think, what you're saying is what fairy tales were. They were meant to teach. They were meant to teach morals, to teach life lessons and things. And I try to paint them over. This is actually my granddaughter. She posed for this one. She's got beautiful lips. But I put them over vintage fairy tale pages from the Grimms or Hans Christian Andersen. So you can kind of see little bits of the fairy tale and some of the story.
Well, and I love the way that when you're up close to this, you can really see, you can also see the older illustrations juxtapositioned with the larger, more colorful, yours have such great motion and breadth to them. And so it's a nice juxtaposition between the written word and then the beautiful, breathtaking image. So.
Well, and I'm going to get into some of the compositional aspects of this, because you've done this in such a way where, if anyone knows Michelangelo and, God and Adam and the birth of Adam, and that almost touching.
You're comparing me to...
but no, it's a device that artists use where they're almost touching. That lip is almost it's a breath away, a breath away, and and where the frog is and he's cut, you can almost feel the leap. So were you thinking about things like taking leaps and breaths away when you were doing this?
I wanted a connection between the two of them. I don't know whether I wanted that, kiss a frog. I wanted that kind of connection when I placed him in there. I made my granddaughter pose about 100 times for this, but they're pretty good for it.
Well, and how much did you pay her? In love.
Believe me.
Oh, see, and I used to pay it in love.
Well, I like that.
Hey, you're going to get dinner tonight.
Yeah.
No, what her biggest treat was is she would say, we're having backwards dinner tonight, which meant we got to eat our dessert and then our dinner.
Well, I like that.
That was our reward.
For breakfast. But I was going to say
breakfast
for
dinner.
Pancakes, right?
I love that. And I also really do appreciate, as with your other two pieces, this one almost becomes a scavenger hunt. And you see the image, you know the title, you have an idea of the story's there, but the way that you paint it in, there's these little, I don't know if you call them jokes or clues, that you put where a color will kind of make its way into a word, and a word will make its way into a color.
Because they're all part of it. They're all the story. Maybe that's it.
So yeah, I think that that's probably part of it. And so, like most people like that have viewed your work and like will say, you know what's so funny is when I was far away, I looked at it and I thought, this is a beautiful piece, and I came closer and I thought, oh, look, like it's like they're discovering a surprise. So it's not just the surprise of the relevance of like these touchstones, but it's also there's something. I like work that has these little hidden things that like the closer you get or the more you engage with it, the more conversational and the more you get from it.
Interest. It draws you in, and you know.
Oh, I take it even a step further. The thing is a lot of people who buy art and appreciate art, one of the things that you use it for is every day to give you a little bit of inspiration. Every day. And when you can go buy a piece, and I don't mean B-U-I, but B-Y, but when you can pass by a piece and every day you go, oh, and it hooks your heart all over again.
Some people understand that. I had a woman buy a small piece like this, and it was Narnia, the lion.
Oh,
it
yeah.
was confidence. And she bought it for her children to hang in her hallway because she wanted her children to feel the confidence each morning when they got up. And that made me so happy.
That's exactly what you want.
And some people get it. Some people understand it. So
it's
nice.
about that relationship and the message.
Because you live, like we talk about this all the time, is that you live with art. Like art is not a capricious thing. I mean, sometimes it's like just love at first sight, but also it's something that like it might be love at first sight and then it slowly integrates into a touchstone that is yours that you'll have forever, and it becomes part of your narrative.
And what I always say is, and eventually it shows up on the Antiques Roadshow, and somebody says, well, my great aunt.
Wouldn't that be lovely?
That would be lovely. I hope that happens.
Yeah,
and they say, and it's worth $100,000.
Not in my lifetime.
You know what's so funny though? It's like a lot of times they want to know the value, but they want to keep the thing. Which I think is really funny.
That's true.
Because we form these connections with, like, when you're like artists are making connections for you to engage with, and so then the connection to it becomes part of the story of the piece. So which I think
people connect with the artists too.
They do.
You know,
which is why we love these artist talks, because not only do they let us know on the insight, but also I say that it's like going and becoming enamored and then finding out more. It's like a relationship where you're getting to know more and more with.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, and
I'm gonna bring up something that you said earlier about the Narnia lion and it being in a hallway. So somebody, where do you see this fitting into someone's home?
I see this in an office or a bedroom, or going into maybe where they put their makeup on or something like that, just as a reminder. Yes.
You don't need to kiss all the toads.
Yes, right.
Well, not only that, but you are beautiful. I think it's a huge message on, let's face it,
beauty, inner worth, deserving, all of those things.
Yes.
Which
100%.
Which is something that we
and
teach.
And that includes the frog. I'm sorry, but the frog.
I like the frog.
I like the frog too. I love the frog. But that's also something that I think is, like, I love that your pieces are something you can grow with too, because children read, we talked about this, but it bears repeating. Like, I think one of the things that's beautiful is we do teach those things to children, but the thing is we need to be reminded of it as we grow. And the meaning of, like, kissing a frog when you're little is like having patience with that person who might seem a little bit, but could transform into a beautiful prince.
You could watch the transformation. I mean, it could be.
Yeah.
And I think when you're little, you think of that in a romantic sense. But as you grow and move in the world, you learn that that's true in a romantic sense. But it's true in terms of your ideal career or your friendships. Like, because sometimes you think you're kissing a frog, and it turns out that person ends up being your best friend, or that job ends up being the best thing. And then sometimes you think you're getting the prince, and it turns out that prince was a real frog.
Or you learned a lesson from it.
Exactly.
You take a lot away. Right?
That's right.
Exactly.
Well, let's
and isn't that what fairy tales teach us too?
Right.
Yeah.
And the other part, because what you're dealing with, it grows with you too, because you could start this in a nursery, just like your rabbit and your Snow White. They could start in a nursery.
And
Yeah,
grow with them.
with
That's
them.
a good,
Yeah.
yes, exactly, yes.
Yeah, and it can be the kind, and it's a work that works there, but also what's amazing is it's also has maturity to it that is timeless. And so when they, which I think is what you were getting to, so it can grow with a child, and even when they move out of the nest, they can take it with
I like
them,
that.
and it will make sense even in that. Like, this is a perfect piece to heirloom. Like, this is a piece that can grow with you and travel on. So I
Well,
think
thank you. I love that idea.
so. Michelle, you know we love you. So.
I love both of you too.
How would we not? So I hope everyone comes into Powell Arts for our paperwork show to see this beautiful work and buy it, of course. And,
And all the other beautiful work that'll be in here, I'm sure.
absolutely,
I mean,
absolutely.
amazing.
And there is. I mean, we're very lucky for all the artists that we get, and especially Michele Collins.
Well, and somebody said, and this is a terrific compliment, so I'm going to share it with you. Somebody said, "You're so new. How do you have such sophisticated, really talented professional artists?"
You do. The last show blew me away.
And
everything.
I said, because we're really lucky, because we love to engage with artists, and I hope they can feel that, and I think that they want to engage with that. I hope that that's true.
It is true. Your whole family is wonderful.
So, and I said, I was like, the artists that we have are lovely, and we're so lucky to have them. So,
And we
Michele,
wanna
we're
make
so
sure
lucky to
that
have
it's
you.
a family affair too.
Yes.
Because
So
we want
nice.
to make a relationship
Yeah.
with our artists and with the work that we have, because we believe everyone should love art.
I agree.
I agree
So,
too.
So please come see these works from, including Michelle's beautiful Kiss a Frog
From
from
August 2nd.
no June 2nd
Oh, June 2nd.
June
to
2nd.
August
June 2nd
7th.
through August 7th. Perfect.
Yay.
Thank you.